This is the start of my theory where I take her equations and then derive the new theory of gravity from her equations, which I used part of that literature to come up with some of the missing terms. And then I revised Newton's law of gravity to account for the fourth dimension, which I started here, starting with her equations and then Einstein and Newton's equations. And then I just went through the physical model to show, to do the proof of her equations, and then the theoretical basis behind them, which I wrote, explained in English terms in case I had to publish the ideas, making sure I had the English to go with it. And I threw in a metaphysics page to explain from a religious point of view how the mathematics could be proven from the basis of the existence of God, which I wrote here. And then from that equation, I developed the new theory of gravity. And in order to prove it as a theoretical model, I calculated the mass of the neutrino based on my mathematical theory and the coupling constant, and that value agreed to within less than 0.1% of what the expected value was in the Large Hadron Collider in Geneva, which I explained here how I got that value. And then I went on to explain how to take that math and make it consistent with Einstein's equations, which I described here. And then still using Einstein's equations, we get the same answer. And then I continued the theory from the gravity side to geometrically explain the fourth dimension and what a fourth dimension would look like on a mathematical level for gravity. So I had to draw how many different vectors 4 dimensions would separate into, which is 16. And I drew all the 16 different quadrants, and then what that 4-dimensional space would look like in 4 dimensions, and then what the revised geometric laws would be in 4 dimensions based on sequences and series. And then I explained how our dimension is a projection of that 4th dimension. Here I wrote 5 because I'm including time. And then as a proof of concept, I showed how the 6-dimensional gravity and the 7-dimensional gravity and the 8-dimensional gravity could be geometrically projected and calculated.